had a really close collaboration with Turn 10 on this project. We've always worked really closely with them, but on this project in particular, we're able to leverage some of the resource on their side that kind of helped us invest in certain features for our vehicles. The other thing is we've invested in our team here at Playground. So I think I'm probably right in saying this is the largest vehicle art team that we've had on a project previously.
It better be good then, lads. Woo! Okay. Cut them bonnets. Why am seeing you like this? Oh, suck.
We know that Forza Horizon 6 will arrive with 550 cars on day one, which is the largest number of cars at launch for any previous Forza Horizon game.
Thank you for that.
That number will obviously only continue to grow over the next several years.
Thank you.
After all, Forza Horizon 5 arrived with just over 500 and now sports around 900. However, moving forward from the Xbox One and Xbox One X generation of consoles has given Playground Games the opportunity to finally pull the trigger on a number of improvements to vehicles.
Okay.
Improvements which touch every single car.
There's work we've done across our whole suite of vehicles in carrying them forward, which both modernizes them. So, for example, if you look at our headlights and taillights, we've got a new kind of refraction-based shader on them. Gives them this really authentic look of depth and feel. Also with things like where you have polycarbonate style headlights, there's a sort of a kind of rainbow refraction effect that you get through there, like an iridescence as the light casts through it. We've also reworked our materials used across the library of vehicles as well. So we've done some basic stuff like that outside of customization. Some of the coolest things I think we've done are where we've made investments that touch the entire library. So there are new vehicles that we have in the game, and those vehicles have
horrible car
bespoke parts which are exclusive to
respect
that car.
to
Then
upgrades.
I think probably the biggest areas, some of the areas we're most excited about are things like Forza Aero and window decals.
The ability to place decals on windows has been something that's been requested ever since the influential livery editor was first introduced to the Forza series in 2007's Forza Motorsport 2.
Window decals, a long requested fan feature, something that we've also wanted to do for a really long time. That requires a massive investment. You have to go back and do work to every single car in order to support that. So we're really thrilled that
Look at that, lads.
And that allows everything from doing huge ornate designs that span across the windows, wrap all the way around the car, to simpler stuff like having a sun strip in the windscreen, or even just smaller low-key things like having window stickers that you can go and place on there. And that's kind of a fun one as well, because we link that into the campaign. As you progress, you'll unlock little graphics you can go and proudly display in there as well.
Another noticeable improvement that touches on just about every one of the hundreds of cars in the game is Forza Horizon 6's new Forza Aero. Dedicated car builders have become increasingly critical of the one-size-fits-all approach of the all-purpose Forza Aero parts available in Forza games, but Forza Horizon 6 will feature front splitters tailored to the individual car.
Let's
and
go.
Spoilers with separate paintable elements.
We've redone the new the front end and the rear wing for Forza Aero. So the new front splitter is completely bespoke to each car. So the car, the vehicle artists now have like handles that they can kind of mold to the body lines of the vehicle. Where before we had kind of like one piece that would just go onto the front of the car. Now each can kind of tailor itself to the design of the actual vehicle. So and it looks more natural, especially with the canards as well. Like it follows the body lines.
Oh, this is just the
tow hook, which has
the cake.
Which you quite like.
Sorry.
Has the feature of
This is just cherry on top of the cake for all
customization.
sticker guys, all freaking car meters. Look at my spoiler.
Yeah, I think just the fact that the kit, the Forza Aero pieces,
we got it.
One of them has been somewhat.
Thank you for sharing, guys.
Touch to work with the profile of that vehicle that's the biggest uplift.
Yo, Dark.
There was some cars in the past where maybe it just didn't sit super well against that vehicle. So yeah, you got a performance uplift, you got a visual change, but maybe it didn't quite look as cohesive as you wanted it to. But now that's genuinely, I think it looks so much stronger aesthetically.
We brought it forward. It looks way more modern.
The new materials on it, the supporting struts that we have. The new design for the rear wing.
This is Forza Need for Speed Edition, guys?
Looking than what we had in the past. James, but I love the fact that when you've installed these parts, if you go to, one of the other areas that we've made investments in terms of quality of life is with paints. So if you go to the paints area now, if you've installed some Forza Aero parts, yeah, that red tow hook, it doesn't have to stay as a red tow hook. If you spend ages working on that perfect color scheme for the body of the car, your wheels, your brake calipers, you can go in and customize that tow hook and just make sure it either fades into the background with something more neutral, or it really pops and complements the rest of the scheme that you've got. And the same is true for the rear wing. You can customize the end plates, bright color complementary to the car.
Oh my God.
You can, throw on one of our new
even I'm gonna spend the bloody time probably to make cars look the way I want.
I'm really hoping, and I think we're really
I'm gonna become the sticker man.
It's been really valuable to our car.
I'm gonna be becoming sticker man, boys.
Almost all of our cars, I think we have Forza Aero pieces for, so a really big investment there.
There have also been improvements to the paint shop.
Within our advanced materials, we reworked our metallics. We've got a new like heavy metal flake material in there. We have a candy paint. And one of the nicest things, honestly, is we've removed a lot of the friction that you used to experience when you navigate through the paint. So in the past, if you wanted to choose a metallic, you would have to go into the paint shop, you'd have to tab through to advanced, you'd have to navigate down, you'd then have to click into metallics, and then you'd be kind of tuning multiple values to get the right hue. And it was a lot of clicks is probably the best way to put it. And it was kind of hidden, so there was a bit of a barrier to entry there, where if you kind of knew, maybe you were more like a power user, you were experienced from the previous game.
Rayman, it will be. It will be.
Experience with the games.
I already.
It's kind of hard to.
Rayman, I already said that watching the previous videos. For those who were listening, what they were saying, they pretty much said it. When you read it in between lines, we're gonna use Forza Horizon 5 engine, physics, everything. However, thanks to obviously only focusing on the new gens and PC, whatever, we are able to push the bar. So they got literally bits headspace to push the bar, to squeeze the juice out, what they can achieve it. Similar scenario, what they done with the Crew 2. The Crew 2 engine is used in Crew Motorsport, Motorfest, sorry. However, there was a bit headspace to squeeze more juice out. So it is the same, but it's not same. So, and they done exactly the same here.
Fine.
So it's going to be interesting to see what's what.
You open it up, you go to the standard paints, you can just simply click the right trigger and you're swapping between gloss, semi-gloss, matte,
no, it's not.
And then you can dive in.
It's based on Crew 2.
Make those adjustments. You can also favorite paints from there, which we think should
why I'm saying that, because when I was playing, when I was streaming Motorfest, I was raided by developers, which was sick. There was 400 something people raid, and I was like, pfft. And I asked this question straight to developers, and they literally said, yes, it's same engine, but we squeezed out the juice. So yeah, that raid was sick though. I was like, man, what's going on here?
For people who use our livery editor, those guys do incredible things, and they're working with often like hundreds of layers. So I think being able to quickly assemble a palette of favorite colors that they can go and swap between, and when they're applying different graphics, should be something really valuable for them as well.
On top of this, there will be over 100 new rims, the ability to choose different rims on the front and rear, and even motorcycle engine swaps for K-cars.
So we have...
What? Man, my heart nearly dropped. Why are they bringing bloody...
to Horizon 5,
yeah,
over 100 new rims that people can go and choose from. Some really great stars in there from some great OEMs. So I think people are going to really enjoy that, particularly when it comes to customizing different rims, front and rear. Also worth noting actually is we've reworked our tyre designs, our actual tyre visual for the cars. That's been reworked, so when you look at the tread pattern, when you look at the tyre wall, that's a kind of fresh new design, and you will see that feed into the tire wear.
So I want to see, I want to know this tire wear, man.
In terms of other customization, we've not talked a huge amount about...
Daniel, tell me about it.
And we've got a really cool class of car in the game that maybe shows up in a bigger way this time around, James. So maybe we could give an example around K car.
Yeah, so we have a few new K cars.
Come on, get rid of these.
One of the cool things I think we wanted to lean into is they're pretty small, so get some pretty interesting engine swaps for them. So we've got a few new motorbike engine swaps that all have...
Why are we talking motorbike engines, guys?
Also rev to silly numbers, so yeah, I'm really excited.
Freaking F that!
I think we didn't talk about K cars and the fact that they've got their own bespoke plates.
Yep.
So yeah, if you drive any K cars in the game, you took a lot of focus and a lot of detail on the plates and trying to get the authenticity right. So I remember just going through it and getting all the car like dimensions and making sure they're all marked up properly to have like the right plates, making sure they had like the yellow plates with like the right number classification. So like, I love that level of detail.
While these boosts to car customization will no doubt result in an overall improvement in the kinds of builds players can create, Playground has been going a bit nuts with its own completely custom cars in the meantime. In Forza Horizon 6, Forza Edition cars are being injected with entirely custom fabrication you can't recreate by manually applying upgrades.
Shit car!
The team explains
Sick
they began to
tunes.
experiment with this a little later in Forza Horizon.
Rubbish
5
car, but...
Two examples of this. One was the Horizon Edition Dodge Viper that we added to the game, where that had a really
Yo, Austin.
like carbon fiber like aero kit that we added for it, and we also put like a sun strip in the windscreen, so really kind of separated it from what you could get with the standard Viper. You couldn't just modify one to make it look like that. And then we pushed that even further with the Jordan Luca collaboration, where we basically did a full resto mod on a car there. So we took the Camaro,
F the Viper.
widened, it had unique wheels on it. I think it had a unique tire design. The whole interior is reworked. We kind of riffed on like the design of the trainer. The body was really modified. The lights were changed. It was
Man, cannot wait for this game.
Working on it, and we think our players really loved this thing that we'd created. And so, you know, you can consider that, and then also, if you look at shows like SEMA or Tokyo Auto Salon, or even when you consider our location of Japan and the incredible builds you see coming out of these tiny workshops dotted around the country, we're like, look, there's something to this. Like, how do we go and like move forward Forza Editions for the next game? And so what we've tried.
You're not gonna see me drifting, man.
Possible, and feed those
it's not gonna happen. What I'm gonna do?
Personally, I think these are some. Of
I'm gonna make cars look pretty. That's for sure.
So again, they're very rare.
I'm gonna try to do myself.
Through the auto
I'm not a drifter, buddy.
Either through rare wheel spins or interesting.
I don't see the fun in drifting. I like to see others drifting who are talented drifters. That is sick to see. But me, nah.
A nice reason to go out and cruise and explore the world. Make some fun discovery moments there.
The thing that makes Forza Edition special this time around is how unique they are. And that goes far beyond their special glow-in-the-dark commemorative style Mount Fuji number plates.
F the Miata, man, I'm interested.
Them is just the level of detail we've gone to in terms of differentiating them from a stock car modified with the parts available to you through the auto show normally. So they still have unique perks. Some of those unique perks will be tied to the new gameplay we have as well. So open world time attack, additional link skills, that kind of thing. But yeah, really, it's the level of attention we've put into the visuals of those cars. Like, we've really let our vehicle artists off the leash and show what they can do. And I think that's what makes them super exciting.
It freaking better be, because they literally just claimed in Forza Horizon 6 they had the biggest team out of them all editions, the people who worked on cars. It freaking better be, man.
So, James, maybe you want to talk a bit about a few of these particular vehicles?
Yeah. So I know that players have
Get rid, not interested. Next card.
Reveal.
Piss off.
Pretty crazy one. Yeah, it's got a V10 with the turbos for headlights. I think
not interested. Don't care.
Like, what is that? And then, as you can see from the front end,
it's shit.
Got, like, the tow hook, like coming out the front end, like the little tongue, which I think is quite funny. Yeah, a lot of the cool like design elements. I think the amount of detail that's gone into just the Forza Editions in general, from what we were talking about, like we've gone down to the point where like, how do we make some of these cars? How do these cars like actually work? So
I hope they put that much attention to the detail in other cars, not in this stupid Miata they're just bragging about.
example, in if you look inside in the passenger footwell, like the firewall's actually kind of been
Not interested.
expanded, and you can see like the welds of where they've put more metal to like even fit the engine to begin with. So like we would have never gone to kind of like those lengths previously for like some of those cars. In particular, on that car, like, yeah, I guess you can see like some details like the arches to fit like the gigantic rear like rubber that we've got underneath.
There's the roll cage. We've got working dials
Not interested.
attached to the roll cage as well. We've ripped out the seat, so it's now a single seat with a harness.
Not interested.
More like a race seat design style in there. And again, you mentioned detail.
That one seat ripped out of the car, is that gonna reduce or increase PI?
Work, so where you've got the rivets on the arches, the metal for the handles on the doors.
Is that making car heavier? Extra metal?
On the standard car, those things would be kind of chrome elements. They've been given a sort of brass copper look to kind of knit in with the overall look of the car. So yeah, just that level of detail, like cutting and modifying the bodywork, like exposing an engine coming up through the bonnet, twin turbochargers, they just look so different compared to what you could build through the auto show, and I think that makes them
on the wrong car.
Really cool.
Another cool thing about the MX-5, from literally just the point you were talking about, was the fact there is a bit more customization you can do with that Forza edition. So like, I guess the spec out of the box is this kind of drag car. It's got the drag wheels, you know, it's got drag slicks.
Not interested.
It's got this kind of, like, low drag look. But you can put Forza in the front, and it's got this.
F the drag race.
Change it, put slicks on it. And then yeah, you can turn it into like basically like a little time attack car.
I don't want to wear high heels.
We haven't done before. Where
wig.
Kind of make a twist on
lipstick.
Itself, and then
not interested in that as well, guys. I'll leave that for others. The frick is this?
Edition S-Cargo is about as different as
oh my god, man.
Nissan's quirky 70-odd horsepower
this is just for memeing, lads.
From 1989 into an insane rear-engine Banshee full of custom engineering and a new central driving position.
The S-Cargo started off as a joke from
no, this won't be. So PlayStation's gonna be probably next year.
And they were like,
right. But Xbox and PC will drop same day.
Span up the idea of this crazy like time attack.
But PlayStation's gonna be later.
Just from like a simple joke, but the amount of detail that's kind of gone into that build.
Freaking hell, Austin.
Of just kind of like they made this
PC superior, man. PC forever, lads.
Raise up the space frame, so like the actual
man. new console, man. New Xbox or Project Helix is a freaking PC, lads. Listen, whatever is getting what's been showcased now, I'm just not interested.
The exhaust work to the front turbo like makes sense. Like yeah,
basically might build this one.
I can't wait to show that one off.
Yeah.
Obviously Xbox Helix, whatever how you call it. I think top end spec is gonna be $1,200 dollars or pounds, whatever.
Without interfering.
So in that range,
that probably exemplifies.
so it's going to be like 800 to 1200. Top end 1200.
The fact that you can take the front clamshell off and you can see the front wishbones and like the intercooler piping and stuff like that. I'm like, we can use it.
Yeah, we've got fully.
That's awesome.
Fully modeled like V6 turbocharged engine in the back.
Yep, it's great.
Rear-mounted gearbox that you can kind of see hanging off the
Yeah,
rear.
you can see the diff, you can see the wishbones. Yeah, it's really
it's
cool.
Amazing.
Like, it's the one.
It will be testy. It will be.
The car the team shows us is the Forza Edition Mazda RX-3,
sick,
which is a little more sedate than the previous two.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, I love the RX-3.
Now we're talking, boys. Sick.
Like the RX-3. And that's kind of like we've drawn a lot of inspiration from like car cultures.
I want to see what we're going to be able to do with the Skyline 2000.
They were inspired by like
those are my favorite builds.
We have like the works like bubble arches on the car, and we have like this
like Skyline 2000,
like
man.
Dipper, like front like chin spoiler and like front mount intercooler and kind of like, you know, the upswept exhaust. Like Just looks super
Yeah.
cool. Have like the big like stock.
I love this
like,
stuff now.
Steelies, like the dish wheels, like it just looks so cool.
Yo,
And it's
Kai.
kind of like a different driving experience from what like the other Forza missions are. This one's more like grounded. Like it's still like a super like highly strung, naturally aspirated rotary, but it's more about just cruising, making cool noises.
Our studio is incredible because we've got so many people here who are,
Not bad today, not bad, Kai.
they love elements of our game.
Well,
which are
I do
all in
have
cars,
bit issues
and
on
playing
afternoon
with
shift,
aspects
so
of there. But then
I am on
also
the
it's
phone with
incredibly
work.
important for us that we've got
So
people
you
who are
guys are gonna
really,
see
really
me
into cars, and within our vehicle team, whether it's our handling team
on and off
or
being
our
on the
team, we've got
phone,
people who are really,
which
really, really
apology in
passionate
advance,
about
guys.
cars. And there's so much expertise that you can go and leverage there.
Because,
so when it comes to
yeah,
you know, a build like
looking
the
after
MX-5,
sight.
it's not as if you have to really handhold somebody's hand through that process. They kind of instinctively know that, okay, well, if I'm going to go and put a V10
Afternoon
on
shift
everything,
is
it's
having a bit
it's not just
issues.
gonna fit in that engine bay, and they're poring over and being inspired by builds they see at SEMA and videos of people building these cars at home. So they're kind of acting out, you know, the fantasy that they have of building these cars in the virtual world. And I think that's one of the most exciting things. Yeah, the consideration of the details that oh wow, you've added a grab hook to get in and out of that vehicle. Well, yeah, I guess
Freaking hell, guys! With this rate,
challenge to get in over that.
us being
fabricated into that vehicle,
able to do,
yeah, I think really it's
able to
the knowledge
do
and the expertise.
with cars
it's just
whatever
kind
we
of born out
like,
of the
build
passion
them
of the
or
team.
whatever.
It's not a thing that has to be
Purely just build them for show
I guess,
off.
like,
Man,
dictated or kind of instilled. It's sort of thriving.
are we gonna
And
start
that's-
doing the
if it
car
wasn't,
meets?
We probably wouldn't have arrived at the place that we have with our Forza editions on this game.
Yeah, I don't think you can instruct passion. I think that's one of those things, right? Like you either have it, you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we have a lot of passion.
Yeah. We want to see people cherishing these cars. We want to see them out driving them. We want to see people photographing them. You know, you can, yeah, just because these things are pre-modified
Yo, Silas.
doesn't mean you can't take them into the auto show and change the colour, change the wheels, you know, apply liveries to them. So you can still go and make them your own. And we're hoping people have a lot of fun taking the Forza editions and, you know, uplifting them even further beyond the base car. That's what we want to see. We just want to see people having fun.
Vibing
Of course, in
out.
Forza Horizon 6, you won't just be restricted to customising your cars, you'll also be able to customise the garages you store them in. There are 8 houses in Forza Horizon 6
Talk to me,
players will be able
bastards.
to buy, and each one has a garage. When you pull up to houses, you will load into the garage, so no more painting your cars on the driveway. As you progress through the campaign, you'll unlock the ability to store multiple cars in your garage, one of which will be your current car
Lads.
with full Forza Vista functionality, and the others
Lads.
will be static models. I'm immediately taken by
Lads.
how much they remind me of digital versions of die-cast
I
car
don't like that
dioramas,
bike in the
and
corner,
explains
guys.
They were inspired by the things players had begun to do with Forza Horizon 5's creator tools, building backdrops to show off their cars in certain ways.
I think the real inspiration goes towards that whole car culture thing of being able to not only build your cars and customize them, but also have somewhere to show them
Nice,
off,
let's
as
go,
in, like,
buddy.
you would in real life. And I think that was really what we were trying for when we were looking into like the design for this and how we can make that
Ice,
available. to players,
IRL,
thinking,
yes,
okay,
but not Forza.
you know, they have cool cars, they have ways of making the cars look cool. How can we make it so they also have a space, you know, like those diecast where they can show them in a specific way, play around themes, play around looks, and have that ability to like update that, you know, alongside their vehicles. I think that was the main thing we're trying to
That
think
is
about, was,
Forza
like,
Arbiter.
if I'm the player, what's the best way to do that? What tools we have available? What could we
Forza
create for them to, you know,
Sims
create that space?
Edition.
It's something that we know players do, right? I mean, we talked about this, the kind of journey that we've been on with Horizon
Ooh,
3
ice,
and
let's go,
players
man.
deciding that certain
For us,
houses
weather
were
is nice as
awesome,
well.
And then in 4, we implemented the houses feature. Horizon 5, we built Event Lab, we built Event Lab Island. And as you said, right, we wanted to deliver on something we know that fans have asked for many times, customizable houses when. So looking to find a way to kind of bring that really powerful, robust tool set that we tested out, that we knew could do all of these things, that we knew players were using to do this.
I'm gonna be having fun in this,
insofar as
boys.
they could, and they
In
actually
a
turned it into
garage.
curated building experience with as much freedom as possible, like allowing you to clip things through walls and sink things into the ground and really be as free as possible with where you place your car. So you can make something that looks like a garage, or you can make something that looks like a superhero lair, if that's your vibe.
Let's
Garages
go.
function like all other user-created content in Forza Horizon games, and they'll be shareable with the community, have share codes, and be able to be browsed and downloaded.
Yes, I absolutely anticipate that it will be a small number of players who make the wild things that you see in games like this. But then I look at other games that have building mechanics in them, and the creativity it unlocks.
500 hours just spent in garage. I'm one of them, lad.
Make the inside of the inside of a medieval dungeon with my cars in it or something, but maybe I can mess around with it a little bit. Maybe I can get on that journey to move forward. So,
My brain is melting.
It's catering to a specific, very creative group of people. But ultimately,
Koenigsen's everywhere.
I hope that more people will engage with it. More people will try
Guys,
out.
sick.
The only thing they do is like put down an extra locator. Fine.
Yeah, I think 1000%. Like that's this niche of players that we know and know, like have enjoyed those similar features or features that in some aspect shared what the garage does in previous games.
I'd be saying.
But I think we also have to keep in mind that
A lot of games in one.
Invented them on a whole side of, we know there is like this smaller fraction of players that build, but we also know that there's still this huge chunk of our players that enjoy and consume, right, the fruit of the creativity of those master builders, right? And I think garage also has that, and that's something we really want to lean on to, is the whole aspect of, sure, I could be a player that loves, the idea of that, but not necessarily has the time to sink into, building my own layout or familiarizing myself with the tool. But
well, Arbiter, let's put it that way. With the physics in the game, they are already winning.
Easy to pick up a really cool.
With the physics, they're already winning, man.
Exactly.
You're browsing them.
And it's now yours.
So there's already big
what cars
tick.
you're showing there, but that layout would have been made.
Man, this is
directly, but you'll be able to pick and place your own cars as if it was your own garage, right? You found a contractor that built it for yourself, and then he just had your
hopefully,
cars shown in
all
there.
these gonna make TDU to think as well.
Freedom in terms of placing objects, with clipping and kludging all permitted for people to achieve the precise look they're after. We won't be able
But
to
that's
place
already
files in
dead, man.
space.
So, hell.
However, perfect is the enemy of good, and sometimes compromises need to be made to get new functionality like this completed.
I think we've made compromises to the bone on the original ideas that we had. There was a version of it where every house had a different floor plan. There was a version of it where there were windows in it. But kind of talk about these as next tier problems, right? If there's a window outside, what happens when it's nighttime? What happens when it's winter? What happens if a car drives past, right? All of those become really difficult to answer. And we really wanted these features to ship in the game. So we kind of made the decisions. Every time we had to make a scoping decision, it was, can we still keep the core of this, which is, I can make it, for me, it was, can I have my brutalist architectural living room with a 911 parked next to my sofa? Can I still make that? Yes. Okay. We're still good.
Check out our full write-up on Forza Horizon 6's new customization options on IGN, and tune in next week for a first look at Forza Horizon 6's new Rush events.
Ooh! Next week, Rush event.